Before Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset would become one of the biggest rap groups of all time.
In the world, man, Migos.
And who's in Migos? Please introduce yourself.
Me, myself, 1/3, Quavo.
1/3, Offset, what's happening?
1/3, Takeoff in the bed, what it do?
Before they would work with the biggest artists in the game, from Big Sean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Drake, Gucci, and Travis Scott, even appearing on tracks with Calvin Harris and Katy Perry. Before Migos would create the sound for a lot of your favorite rappers. Before Donald Glover gave them a shout out while accepting a Golden Globe, calling them the Beatles of this generation.
And I really want to thank the Migos, not for being in the show, but for making Bad and Bougie. Like, that's the best song.
And whether he knew it or not, Migos would go on to have 14 songs appear on the Billboard Hot 100 at the same time, a feat that only one other group has ever done. The Beatles. Before Culture 2 would give them their first #1 album, and before Migos would have a #1 hit with Bad and Bougie. Right after Migos hit #1 on the charts, they headed into Power 106 radio station in Los Angeles, where a young Jeremy Hecht was standing, trying to look cool as he dapped up Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff during his first official day as an intern. It was moments after that, while Quavo was smoking a massive blunt, that he learned I was from Canada, to which he responded, "Pass Canada the blunt." Now, I'm not much of a smoker, but with the weight of an entire country on my back, I pulled through, and I have a picture to prove it. I've also never been so high in my entire life, even since that day, so thank you, Quavo.
Better version. Read the book, read the book, read the book.
Migos have come a long way since their days in Atlanta, where they had to trap for money while working on their early mixtapes. But how did they go from being unknown to one of the most successful rap groups of all time? Well, you clicked on the right video. What's going on, good people in the comment section? My name is Jeremy Hecht. I hope you're having one heck of a day. Now, this is an updated version. I've recently updated other big artists like Wiz and YG, so be sure to check those out after you finish watching this one, and let me know who to cover next in the comments down below. As always, I try to read as many as possible and to reply to you guys. So, I've also got a question for you before we start this video that we'll answer at the end. What burger joint did Offset work at for just 3 days? All right, let's get into it.
Before they're famous.
Before they were famous about.
That was a pretty good video.
I like this guy.
Look, Cardi, you did a great job.
Michael is never wrong.
So damn, that was cool.
How did he know that? Whoa!
The trio were born and raised in Athens, Georgia before moving to Lawrenceville. Quavo was born Quavius Marshall on April 2nd, 1991. Offset born Kiari Cephas on December 14th, 1991. And Takeoff born Kirshnik Ball on June 18, 1994. And somebody commented on our last Before They Were Famous video on them that Takeoff is actually the fourth Ball brother. Okay, so maybe not. All right, now let me break down their family tree for the people who still don't know how the three are related. So Quavo's sister is Takeoff's mother, and Offset is cousins with both of them. So they're not only family on the track, but in real life too. Takeoff and Offset's fathers left their households at young ages, and Quavo's father passed away when he was just 4 years old. So the three were raised mainly by Quavo's mother, who was a hairstylist and often looked after all of them. No wonder he ad-libs Mama so much. Mama! And Offset's mom can be seen spitting bars in the video for 2 Chainz's song, Proud. I can already feel everyone in the comment section calling me corny for that ad-lib, but it's okay because I think I killed it, all right? And even more recently, Offset reconnected with his estranged father, and it appears that they are working through their issues together. Music was something that all 3 members of the group gravitated towards from early on. They were inspired by the ATL legend Gucci Mane, as well as other groups like Outkast and the Hot Boys. At first though, the group was only Quavo and Takeoff, who began rapping in elementary school together. Quavo's rap name was Crunk Boy in the 8th grade, and he would make his own mixtapes and pass them out in school, but it seemed more likely that Quavo would have a career in sports than in music. He was a talented quarterback starting for the Berkmar High School Patriots, and watching some of his highlights, the dude can really ball.
Put it in the back seat.
And as you can see, it doesn't seem like he's lost any of his touch. He's also pretty talented on the court, most recently taking home the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game MVP.
Quavo with a nice Euro step and one!
By the 7th grade, Takeoff was writing songs and making his own beats, but he wasn't focused on making it a career until much later. In 2009, Quavo and Takeoff teamed up, rapping under the group name Polo Club. But even with Quavo's strong potential on the field, his real passion was in music, so he dropped out of high school during his senior year to pursue the career full time. Offset was actually a really good dancer growing up. I know some of you guys have probably seen this video. And while we're not sure if he was seriously considering a dancing career, his cousin Quavo told him that he should start rapping. Quavo even wrote Offset's first verse for him, and after that, Offset knew he could go bar for bar with him, so he started writing his own verses and really taking things seriously in the 9th grade. Also, I just want to say it's great to see Offset doing some of his own choreography with Cardi on the BET stage. I hope he continues that and does more of that because he's actually a really good dancer. And finally, the three decided to join forces and form a group together.
Avengers!
At the time, they were living in the north side of Atlanta, which had a heavy Latino population. They wanted to rep the influence around them, and they all just felt like brothers, so they came up with Migos. With a new rap name and a dream to chase after, the three were motivated to make some money to fund their music. They began living in an abandoned house that they turned into a bando, and while putting in work at the trap house, they were also putting in work in their home studio that they built, recording music on a daily basis. Offset caught a charge for stealing a car at around this time, but was not yet sentenced. They recorded several mixtapes there and would pass them out to DJs in Atlanta clubs. One of their childhood friends, DJ Ray G, helped get their record some spins, and the name Migos began to ring a bell within the tight-knit Atlanta rap scene. Their music was being played at local clubs, and they were collabing with some of ATL's finest. No Label is the mixtape that really started to get them a buzz locally, with Bando becoming a standout song from the project, and that's also the song that caught the ears of Zaytoven and Gucci Mane himself.
The Migos in general are just, I feel like they're the dopest group out right now. And, you know, individually, all of them are amazing. All of them, you know, they are so different, but at the same time, they're all hard working.
And once you got the Gucci Mane stamp in Atlanta, you were on. Gucci brought the crew to his studio for 6 weeks straight, where they recorded what I can only imagine was hundreds of songs. Gucci even offered to sign them to a deal with 1017 Brick Squad, but they chose to sign with Quality Control Music instead, which has proven to be an amazing decision. Coach K and P recently landed at number 50 on Billboard's Power 100, and the two have grown their label into a dominant force within music, with acts like Cardi B, Lil Yachty, and the City Girls signing later on. But Migos had a buzz growing outside of just Atlanta, even making it all the way to Toronto. Drake had heard some of the Migos' work and loved what they were doing. He ran into them at an event in Atlanta, and from there, a bond grew. After Migos released their single Versace, Drake hopped on it and took the song and Migos to new heights. Although, like Soulja Boy reminded us recently, he actually made a song over the Versace beat first.
I did a song on that same beat before them, and it got 9 million views on YouTube. It's called Teach Me How to Swag Part 2.
Migos followed that up by releasing YRN in 2013, and their name was starting to make some real waves. But even with a Drake feature, it would take them a few more years before they achieved mainstream fame. And while all of their success was beginning to really happen and Versace was taking off, Offset was in a Georgia County jail serving time for a probation violation. But once he returned and the group was back at full force, things took off for real. The group released their single Bad and Bougie in 2017 with Lil Uzi, and while it slowly began to gain some traction, the song, along with the Migos as a group, got blasted into superstardom when Donald Glover gave them a shout out while accepting an award at the Golden Globes.
And I really want to thank the Migos, not for being in the show, but for making Bad and Bougie. Like, that's the best song.
The seemingly out of nowhere shout out didn't just stay on that stage though, it had a real life impact on their career. The song quickly jumped to number 1 on iTunes, and it became the anthem of that entire year. And the video for it now has over 853 million views on YouTube. Although I personally still wish Takeoff would have had a verse on the song instead of Uzi. No offense to Uzi, because I love him.
I ain't left out Bad and Bougie. You think I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
Say again?
You say I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
What'd you say?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
What'd you say?
Do it look like I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
Nah!
Since then, they have taken over the game with singles, features, albums, flows, videos, and basically everything in between. And while all 3 members have dropped solo albums, we're all really looking forward to their next project as a group. In terms of their personal lives, Quavo has been dating rapper Saweetie, and the two look like a super cute couple. Offset has had a couple of rocky moments with his wife in the public, but him and Cardi are the dream team and have the cutest baby together, Culture. The two got married in 2017 and have shown the world that, really, love conquers all. Takeoff keeps things pretty low-key in terms of his personal life, and we're never 100% sure what he's up to, but I do know one thing for sure, is that I can say 100% with certainty that it does not look like he was left off of Bad and Bougie.
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What'd you say?
I know that moment's kind of old and I've already referenced it like 3 times in this video, but I just think it's one of the funniest moments, at least I've witnessed within the last few years of hip hop, so I just love it. I had to bring it back. Oh, by the way, Steak and Shake is the restaurant that Offset worked at for only 3 days, and there's the answer to your question from the beginning of the video. I also have to say that I have Migos to thank for my current relationship because my girl and I met at a pregame party for a Migos concert, but the concert ended up getting canceled, so we just hung out the whole night instead, and the rest is history. So once again, thank you, Migos. But as for the rest of their story, well, you know the story because this is Before They Were Famous. I'm Jeremy Hecht. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. Let me know who to cover. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this video. If you have any thoughts on future videos, I'll try to respond to as many people as possible. And if nobody else has told you today, I love you. Dream good, live better. Hope you have one heck of a day, and I'll see you in the next video.